Hi, I'm Becca from Belle the Bar. I'm here at Primal Strength and Fitness, and today we're going to go over some cues for your deadlift. Hi, I'm Becca from Belle the Bar. I'm here with Kelly. We're at Primal Strength and Fitness, and she's going to go through and show a lower body mobility workout. So this is just a general fitness warm-up that usually goes before a lot of our workouts. Sometimes even on upper body days we'll throw this in. So we're going to start by doing jumping jacks. We're going to do 15 here. If jumping jacks are difficult for you, you can go ahead and modify. Kelly, will you show that? There you go. You can also do a squat jack if that's easier for you. There you go. Very nice. After jumping jacks, we're going to go and do mountain climbers. You can do these either to the ground or to a tire. Just going to keep your back flat. You bring your knees up to your chest. She's going to do 15 here. Next, we're going to go into butt kickers. It's a good stretch for your hamstrings. You can either do these standing or running in place. So the goal of this warm-up is just to get a dynamic stretch. We never want to stretch cold muscles and hold them in a static position. Next, she's going to go on to body weight squats. So here she's going to think about, she's pushing her knees out. She's thinking about spreading the floor. She's making sure that her feet are staying on the ground and her heels are not coming up. You see that she's sitting back. She's squatting to depth, even in her warm-ups, making sure that her hip joint is below parallel. All right, next she's going to move into zombie kicks. So she's going to hold her hands out in front of her like she's walking like a zombie. She's going to go opposite leg to the opposite foot. This is another great hamstring stretch. And lastly, she's going to go through and do some body weight lunges. Hands at her hips, or they can be up in front of her too. Notice that her knee is directly over her ankle. She's not letting her knee track over her toe. Again, this is just getting some blood flow into her glutes and hamstrings and getting her warmed up for her workout today, which is going to be strongman. So we're going to go through, we're going to do these in a circuit, 3 rounds of 15 before your workout. Okay, so we're going to go through a few more mobility warm-ups that are going to help you on your lower body days before squatting, deadlifting, or strongman event day. So I have this band looped around the yoke. You can also loop it around a squat rack. Really any kind of stable piece of equipment will work. You're going to go ahead and step out with this band. You're going to get it into your hip, so it's kind of uncomfortable. You're going to want to step forward till you have a good amount of tension, and you're going to hinge at your hip. You're going to come down and touch your toe. This is a great warm-up to do if you have a hard time getting to depth or if your hips are feeling really tight. So you're going to do about 8 reps on each side. Then you're going to step out here. This is a great warm-up if you're having trouble coming forward on your toes. It's going to force you to stay back, knees out, and squat. You want to do about 5 here, and then you're going to do hip flex on the other leg. Okay, so the next mobility warm-up that I like to do are band walks. This is just a red mini band from Elite FTS. I'm going to put it around my ankles. I'm going to step into it. It's a great warm-up to warm up your abductors and adductors as well as your glutes. I'm just going to step out so there's a good amount of tension. You can go ahead and just walk like this. If you want to make it a little bit more challenging, you can bring your toe in and tap it. And then you're going to come back. You should feel some good warmth into your glutes here and getting warmed up, which is going to help you to be a more effective squatter and deadlifter. Okay, so the last part of our warm-up, we're going to do some glute activation drills. The first thing that I like to do are hip circles. So you're going to come down on all fours, and you're just gonna rotate your hip out. You can start by doing some small circles, and you can come up and make them a little bit bigger. I like to do these for reps of about 8 on each leg. Start slow. Again, you should feel good activation through your glutes, which you need for squats or deadlifts. After that, I like to go through and do some glute bridges. Okay, so next we're gonna go through and do some glute bridges. This is a great exercise to isolate the glutes and get a good pump before your workout. You're gonna wanna set up against something like a bench or a tire so that you feel like your shoulder blades are against it. You're gonna get down low, squeeze your glutes. You should not feel like you're pushing with your quads, but you should feel like the entire movement is coming from your glutes and you're squeezing at the top. I like to do about 3 sets of 15 here. Okay, so we're going to talk next about shoes for deadlifts. When you're deadlifting, you're going to want to deadlift with a shoe that has a flat sole. You're not going to want to deadlift with something that has an insole because it's going to spread your weight out unevenly. You're going to be almost like you're trying to deadlift on top of a pillow. So these are made by Reebok. They have a flat sole, wide toe base, great for squatting and deadlifting. Another good option would be Converse Chuck Taylors. Other people are going to choose to deadlift in socks, which is usually fine in a competition, but you're going to want to check with your federation rulebook. These are actually a deadlift slipper. Can you show the bottom? So they do have a little bit of grip on the bottom. Okay, so just going over your bar selection. With deadlifts, you have the option of using a deadlift bar. This is a Texas deadlift bar. There's a number of other companies that make deadlift bars. The difference being that it's going to be longer and thinner, and you're also going to be able to pull the slack out of it better, which is going to allow you to be able to pull more weight. The nice thing about this bar is it has some great knurling, which are going to allow you to really lock in your grip. So we're going to talk about deadlift stance. There's 2 ways that you can deadlift. In a sumo stance, which is going to be wider with your toes turned out, you're going to be hinging at your hip. This is going to be more of a hip and glute dominant exercise. Taking a more conventional stance is going to recruit more of your quads and your lower back. So there are going to be benefits to training either sumo or conventional. A lot of it's going to depend on your leverages and where you naturally feel strongest. So you're going to want to play around with it a little bit. Taking a sumo stance out really wide is going to recruit more of your hips and your glutes. Taking a more conventional stance is going to get more into your lower back and your quads. So really you just want to play around with it, see what naturally feels best for you. I do recommend spending some time training your alternate stance. For example, sometimes I normally pull conventional, but sometimes I'll switch over to sumo. Pretty much every time I do that, I usually find that helps my conventional. And it also prevents you from developing imbalances. Okay, so we're going to talk about conventional first. When you set up for conventional, I like to think about setting up so that the bar is crossing the middle of your foot. Getting your shins too close to the bar is going to cause the bar to roll out from you when you set up. So you want to give yourself enough space that you have the ability to pull yourself down to the bar. So I'm going to set up with the bar crossing the middle of my foot. I'm going to grip the bar, keep my shoulders back. You'll see that when I'm coming down to the bar, I'm pulling on the bar here, and you can hear the slap come out of the bar. You also notice that as I come down to the bar, that my shoulders should be in a straight line over the bar. It's going to allow you to keep your back in a good position, which is going to help you to become stronger. Okay, so we're going to talk about getting your back tight for deadlifts. One common mistake that people make is that their shoulders are too far over the bar, which is going to cause you to be pulling with a rounded back instead of a nice flat back. So One thing I like to tell my clients is to start by getting their shoulders back. They're going to come down and grab the bar. I have a good arch in my low back. Staying really tight, big belly, big air. Thinking about turning your elbows in and hiding your armpits is a cue that helps a lot of people. It's going to allow you to lock in your lats and stay really tight throughout your deadlift. Okay, so last thing we're going to talk about with your conventional deadlift is your lockout. Two things you want to avoid doing and that will definitely get you red lighted at a meet are hitching and ramping. Hitching is when you're going to use your legs to walk up the bar for your lockout. Ramping is going to be where you're going to bring your knees under the bar to help you lock it out like this. Both of those things are going to give you no lift in a meet. So you want to avoid training that way in your training sessions. When you step up to the bar, you're going to get your lats locked in, shoulders back, pull the slack out of the bar. As soon as the bar crosses your shins, you want to think about bringing your hips forward powerfully. Okay, so next we're going to talk about sumo stands. Where you're going to place your feet for sumo is going to depend a lot on your hip mobility and where you feel most comfortable. For me, I found through a lot of trial and error that I like to have my feet right about at the rings. The first thing you want to do is shoot your lats down toward the bar. You're going to go ahead and pull the slack out, pull the slack out. As soon as you get to your knees, you want to bring your hips forward. Couple things with sumo, you really want to focus on keeping your knees out versus allowing them to cave in. Keep in mind also that sumo a lot of times is slower off the ground and faster at lockout, whereas conventional tends to be faster off the ground and slower at lockout. Okay, so just to wrap up and review our deadlift session, you want to make sure that when you're coming up to the bar is crossing the middle of your foot. You're going to come down and grip the bar, pull the slack out of the bar. Lats should be tight, shoulders back. Your shoulders should be in a straight line over the bar. Make sure that you're bringing your hips forward at lockout, pulling the bar back. Remember, no hitching or ramping. Those things are not allowed in a competition, so you don't want to train that way. I can't wait to hear about how implementing these cues are going to help you build a bigger deadlift. Please keep us updated. You can tag us on Belle of the Bar on Instagram, at Belle of the Bar. You can also share updates to our Facebook page. If you found this video helpful, please like and share. You can also find more information about Belle of the Bar at belleofthebar.org. Thank you.